Thank you guys so much for coming to our walkthrough at the Drake, all of you awesome Cannonball artists. My name is Nick, and I'm one of the co-founders for Cannonball. I forgot this was gonna be on the online. Anyway, so that's great. Yes, thank you guys so much for coming. As I said, my name is Nick, and I'm one of the producers this year, and I'll pass it off to Mason to introduce himself.
Mason Rosenthal, I'm an associate producer, which means I'm a new producer with Cannonball.
Yay!
And
Hi, I'm Sky. I'm a producer and the production manager. I'm also operating the Zoom, and the note I've been given is that you have to stand really close to the people who are talking. So if you're answering a question, I might get really close to you, but that's all. Hello.
and then we also have
My name is Val Camp. I'm the production manager and venue manager at Interact Theater Company, and I'm here to answer your questions about this.
So yeah, so we're your three Cannonball people here today. Valvin is an interact person, so he can answer questions about the space, he cannot answer questions about the camera. So if you have Cannonballs, good questions you will ask us. Mason and I are the two producers for the Drake. You know that hopefully because you are one of our artists, but maybe, is there anyone who is not doing a show on the Drake? You're like doing another venue, but you're just like curious? Okay, sweet. Great, then you belong to one of us, yes. And we'll get into that. The way that we'll do today is we'll talk a little bit more about the lobby space here, and then we'll go to the proscenium. We'll see that for a little bit. Everyone else will then go into the Bloover. I will stick around in the proscenium. So anyone who's a proscenium artist who wants proscenium artists? Sweet. Okay, great. So I'll stick around in the proscenium, and then we can have more questions if you guys have them, and everyone else will do the Bloover, and Mason will be. Great. We'll talk about the lobby here.
Yeah. So this is the lobby to the Proscenium Theater. Both of our facilities are disability accessible. We've got individual bathroom stalls around the corner there, and you see a nice little concession area, which will be staffed. The auditorium seats 120. The stage is about 30 by 40 feet, and let's take a look at it.
And
Super quickly.
box office. Yeah.
So, likely we're gonna run box office out of here. And we are still in the process of deciding, but what is likely going to happen is that there will be one box office manager for both stages, but separate house managers. So you'll have a separate house manager over the Bloover, house manager here. Still sort of figuring that out, but we'll see. So box office will be here. There will be concessions in both spaces here and then in the Bloover for every performance. And those concessions are run by Interact. So if you don't like it, not us. That's if you like it, it's totally still them. And that is not something that is like part of the contract, can't change it. So just know that. But there will be concessions. And then yes, these restrooms here are individual, as Valdo was saying, they're individual restrooms, all gender restrooms, and that's the only thing I think else to say about this space. Yeah. Okay. Great.
And folks on Zoom, feel free to add any questions in the chat or unmute yourselves. I'll be keeping an eye on y'all. So this is the entrance to the Proscenium Theater. So we've just come in these doors and are walking down this hallway.
So this is the proscenium stage, the larger of our two spaces, 120 seats and a 30 by 40 space. There's a fringe show in here before y'all. And Nick, do you want to talk about how it might be set up? Is it time?
Sure. So Fringe Arts has a show in here. You don't need to worry about it because it doesn't matter for any of your shows. They're gonna have Marley down, but the Marley's gonna go away before any of you are in here. So that won't matter. We haven't talked about who is in here and needs a projection.
Us.
Great. We'll talk about that. I don't know what that's gonna be yet.
There is a projector, but the projectionable surface, the cyc we have over in the Bloover right now, and that's gonna stay there. So we just need to figure out what your projectionable surface is gonna be in here. And as far as like other soft goods, I don't know, I know that Fringe Arts otherwise is going to just have a completely bare stage. We'll have some booms. Those booms are going out on them. They're not staying. So it'll be otherwise completely bare as you see it, just like, you know, lights.
Some common questions and features about the space is, there's a booth up there. You have, the dressing room here. And these curtains can be used to mask that. Some people have used this as a stage entrance before. Your other option for stage entrance is that door in the corner on stage left. That goes to the dressing
This is also a stage entrance to the dressing room.
room.
Thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, like,
And yeah, our light plot clearly isn't hung right now. So don't take any of these lights to be what they will be.
Yeah, these are just the work lights.
Vincent mentioned minimal storage, is that over here?
We were talking about.
question about
couple options of
storage.
Storage, there will be some options available to you in the basement. If you're talking about props and things, that's probably the most likely thing that's gonna happen.
Yeah, so it'll almost definitely be downstairs just because this, the dressing rooms need to be used by other artists like between shows. So you just can't clutter them up with people's prop storage like between shows. And we can't go downstairs today because of reasons, but when we can, then we will have lots of photos and videos and show you what that experience will be like. Yeah.
Anybody else?
This is how the seating's gonna be.
Yes.
Yeah, the seating in here is the way it is.
Yeah, this seating does not.
Will wings be prepared for certain shows, or is it just almost like?
Would you say about legs earlier?
Likely
We
not.
have named it.
Yeah, so this is the thing that we like rerun into all the time, which is like, you know, what do the majority of the shows need? There is not time between shows to like hang and, you know, strike legs every time. So we have to go with like, what do the majority of the shows need? Do the majority of the shows need an open space or do they need legs? And right now it seems like the majority of the shows need an open space. So as of right now, no. Something that we are trying to look into is like having flats, because at least those could fold up and go away. So I don't have an answer about flats today, but just know that that is a thing on my noggin.
So TBD. on
TBD.
flats.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Zoom folks, do you all have any questions about this space?
And other people can go while we're waiting for the Zoom. I just want to check in with these guys.
If people didn't notice already, I put a post in our Drake artist channel about the number of mics. And so I think we're currently splitting them up half and half. So we have 2 wired microphones, 2 wireless, and 2 labs that could either be in or even need to be like an over the ear kind of microphone. And that 2-2-2 means that there's those 2, so 6 total in here and 6 in the Bloover. But if your show has a need for more, you should reach out to me and to Nick, and we can check and see if they aren't being used in other stage space, so that you could use more of those microphones. And that would bring us to 4, 4, 4, so whatever, the 12 total. So.
Oh.
Yeah, did you?
The thing I just want to say about microphones is that, as you can tell, the acoustics in here are pretty good, and your stage manager will be running lights, sound, video, and managing microphones. So as much as you can avoid having a lot of microphones, I really encourage you to do that. I think it'll just make for a better show. Obviously, if you're like, dramaturgically, I need someone to like have amplified voice, like please do that. But I think just like consider all of the buttons your stage manager will be pushing during your show and like how you can simplify that so that you have a better product.
Sort of just diving a little deeper to that, also like live sound mixing. So if you have instruments and they're like singing over top of that, we do not have someone who's going to be here to do that live mixing for you. Okay, so if that is something, if you have a lot of really complicated sound like that, you're gonna need to provide that person. that stage manager can give you the mic and be like, great, go with God, you know? But they're not gonna be able to like do all of that while making sure that they're paying attention to your show and doing your cues.
But if we provide that person, that mixer, is there like equipment up there to mix with? Okay. Thank you.
And we'll be providing like inventory, a full sound inventory, and that'll have the type of board. So if that's useful to whoever would be mixing for you.
Be a good time to move on to the blooper.
Yeah, can we take a look at the dressing rooms?
Yeah. Let's all try to stay together. There's gonna be a tight little, space that we're all fitting in, but I'd like to guide us through the dressing room, through that door, out the other side.
And then
All in a row.
let's all go, and then the proscenium folks will come back in here, and if you're a blooper artist, you can come with us.
Okay, ready?
Ready.
Stay together, guys.
We'll let everyone else go first.
The abyss.
Yeah, there's a mix, but it seems like everyone's just going in here, and since it was short, I'm like, we should just go in and get to that.
So folks on Zoom, this is the dressing room. The entrance
That's a good
is
idea.
off stage
So,
and left.
side.
Great. So there's these little stalls. And we'll have some specific information about how dressing rooms get used and shared. These are all shared dressing rooms between artists. And then down this hallway, there's like this little sort of green room area with a couch and fridge and microwave. And then if you go back here, this is that upstage entrance into the proscenium theater. So this is the proscenium dressing rooms. There is a separate dressing room for the Bloover, but it's slightly smaller, so I do think a lot of this space will end up being shared. We'll have to get back to you with exactly what those those sharing specifications are. So now I just came in the door. So over there is the upstage left entrance to the proscenium. And now here we are in the lobby to Bloober Theater. And so this lobby is entered in here, and there's this concession stand. There's 2 restrooms over here. And then this is into the theater.
So we're looking like Baldwin said for 60 seats. And so with this front row, with these mid stools and then these taller stools, that same sort of setup will be duplicated over here. And then you can see those thrust seating along there, that totals 60. This is one orientation. The other would be having your audience, if let's say you don't like the look of the white site, we're gonna plan for another orientation that's this way, facing this way. So then you'll have the black wall here available. This will likely still be hung, but it gives you some options in terms of what you'd like your look to be. And we haven't fussed too much with the seating arrangement on this side yet, but the goal is to also set up 60 facing this way. So just to give you a sense of the orientations that we're thinking of.
How would if shows wanted different seating arrangements, is that possible, or is it like?
Besides those 2
So folks on Zoom, this is sort of,
You could, yes, but you'll wanna factor.
Sorry,
in
I will
that
follow up, Vicky.
change. So we'll be tracking who wants what, and there will be some Cannonball folks able to help. But it will also be part of your, if you want a different orientation to make that happen. It's part of our decision, we've gone without using risers in here, and then that allows for these chairs to be moved around between shows.
The only thing I'll add about that is like, if you were going to change the orientation, so we'll arrive, like, this would be like the default, we change it, we'll be expected to change it back in your change over a period of time. And it's best if you can do that on your own without the support of Cannonball staff, because if there's something that happens where like the venue manager needs to step away to go handle some other problem, or the house manager needs to do something else, like, you just don't want to be in a situation where you're relying on us to be able to do that for you, and then your show is starting 10, 15 minutes late, you know? So as best as possible, it's relying on yourself to do that, and if we're available, then we will help.
Are you thinking that this way will also be a thrust or will it be a proscenium?
It's a good question. We didn't get to play with the chairs this way today, so, but probably we'll have a thrust element, because I just don't. You were thinking, Nick, of going deeper with rows, yeah?
Yeah, but I just don't know if that's, gonna be a fun experience. But yeah, that.
Maybe we can find time to play with it some today. So still experimenting. We want to be sure to get those 60 seats available. So we'll have to figure that out, and we can get more information back to you when we do.
It's a combination of 60 seats and also 3 feet between rows and right here, for people to be able to pass through. So not just a matter of the number of seats, but also like how we can fix it. The other thing to keep in mind here too is like if you're like, oh, I don't want people sitting on the side, that's totally fine. The other thing we talked about was you could move these chairs that are on the side to another row here in the front, if you want 2 rows of chairs, or not a chair, another row of chairs, but cushions on the floor. And we will try to see if we can procure some cushions.
Also worth noting too, if you're a buy-in, meaning like you've paid Cannonball for the space, you could pull out any number of chairs. You're just then cutting into your ticket sales. So if you're a co-presentation, then Cannonball has some vested interest in the number of seats and ticket sales. So that's a different kind of arrangement. But if you bought in, you could also decide, you know, it's yours to decide if you want to pull things out.
You just need to let us know so that we can like cap that on what we're selling.
The last thing was to say around like, if you decide you want to do like seating on the floor, that obviously just affects your playing space, right? Because like now I'm here, this is not playing area.
Yeah, sorry, just to drill down into the different orientations. So if I have a show on a Monday and a show on a Tuesday, it's possible that there's a preference on Monday for this orientation. There's possibly a preference on Tuesday for this orientation. Is that possible?
You mean you have a preference?
You were sort of saying if we change it, we have to change it back. So I'm just trying to understand.
After your show.
Yeah, so on any given day, is there going to be like a standard presentation, or depending on the day, what the artists want for that day, is it possibly going to change?
I think I understand. So we're thinking of this as the default.
Great.
But it's possible, maybe the show before yours also wants this thing and you also want it. So then no big deal. It's not gonna cut into your setup beforehand.
Sure.
But so it'll be a little bit determined in conversation with the shows that are happening before and after you. So it could vary, like you're saying, Sam. There might be some days where, oh, it's already set up this way, or it needs to be set up. So there'll be a little bit of communication between shows and different shows' needs.
But it's good to plan for this as the default.
I'd say it's very, very, very rare that the show before you is consistent or that the show after you is consistent. Yeah, very rare.
But you're not, well, yeah, you don't have to like come in and set it back to this and then the next show like sets it back to how it was
We
before.
can
Like,
check
you
to
know,
see
we can have that
what's involved.
conversation. Yeah. Folks on Zoom, do you have any questions?
Such as lighting plot or sound plot, or once those are up, those are focused and locked in.
I
Lights
think
and
they're
sound.
focused and locked in, right? Scott,
Correct, yeah.
questions about the focusing and the hanging of lights.
Yeah, so we'll have a rep plot hung. The rep plot will be focused in this area, and then also there will be a set focused in this area. So those are like the two main playing spaces. Projection will be focused only in this area.
And all the speakers are living. Can you point out where
There are
those?
speakers in the grid, they can be refocused, for what Cannonball wants. And that unit on the floor is a sub, put it where it's.
I think I remember I sent you guys some, there was an artist who wanted a sub behind the audience. So there's some like case by case basis of moving things around, but for the most part, that stuff is gonna be set in our rep plot orientation. Cause there isn't the time to get up there and change things in that short changeover period.
Will there be a deadline to request specials put into the rep pod and things like that?
We can't really add specials. I mean, if you like wanted to bring and hang and patch something in your 3-hour tech time, like that's something we could have a conversation about. But we're like really just trying to accommodate as many people. And we usually in our rep plot will have a couple of like a center special and like maybe like one other special somewhere, but we can't do like show specific specials.
Okay.
But we'll usually try to like have stuff that accommodates the most amount of people.
All right, sounds good, thank you.
Yeah.
Fog machines or no? Yep.
Yes, no? No.
Can I ask
Like on tech day or prior?
No, we'll hopefully be sharing that in the next like week or so. Yeah.
how
Yeah.
much space does the projection take up? Does it take up all of that space or?
So the.
Sorry, Vicky, I'll get to you in just 1 minute.
Right now is right behind that speaker, it's that little white office looking projector. It puts an image on that site from where it's at about the size from maybe the ladder to the scaffold.
Okay, so not the whole.
But it's something you'll want to see it before you use it. I think I would defer to the skies on that to give you an idea once the rep plot is done.
Okay.
Then you could use a grow distance calculator on that model and see how big it is and how big you want it.
Yeah, so we'll include that with the tech information, sort of what that throw is. Yeah. And Walden, just to be clear, no fog in either space, is that
That's
correct?
correct. The reason is it will set off the fire alarm and if they have to evacuate the residences, all of us, hundreds of people will be mad.
Heard. And then Vicky, yeah, so 60 is capacity. What's your fire capacity in here? Is that
It's like
80? So 60 is what we're selling tickets to, just to like be able to comfortably fit people in here. If we oversell, we'll typically like allow overselling by 10. So then we're just like cramming chairs in here and adding cushions on the floor. So there is the potential to oversell if you're sold out.
We are looking maybe into puzzle mats or cushions or something like that, TBD. So if your show is a show that wants that kind of vibe, that's another option.
And
So
then
you wanted to get rid of these and have cushions or something, that's a possibility.
Walden, is this square? We have someone asking if the orientation, if the like floor width would be the same. Do you know what the measurements
I
are?
don't think it's a perfect square. It's approximately 30 by 30.
Okay, so it's pretty close to square. So Ally, to answer that question, they would be pretty close.
And what is the screen gonna be, that big white material? What's that gonna be? You might have answered this, sorry.
Yeah, so this is the psych that will be hung on this wall here and will function both as a projection screen and it's also like a little bit of a backdrop that there will be a small amount of crossover behind it as well. Yeah, it will look much cleaner and nicer than this in real life.
That's where it will come.
Yes.
Any thoughts on the opacity of that and the ability to do like silhouette shadow and stuff?
It's been done.
Yeah.
Depends on where they hang it. I would defer to Sky on that too. You can't fit behind shadows.
Real.
Yeah, so it'll be, if you want to look, it's gonna be hung, like where the edges are hung, that's about where it'll be. So there's like 1.5 feet or so. So
But we might not necessarily have lighting instruments,
Right.
around there, so you're using flashlights or your
Yeah,
own.
we've also already talked about like, bringing fabric and having 2 actors
Yeah,
side
yeah.
to side
You
too.
might be able to
Well,
use this. You can turn off the lights and.
Do you wanna see doctors? Going dark on the computer, everybody be careful.
Thank you. Sure, this is thrilling to the people at home. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. So this is shadow behind the psych.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would, turn my back on. I would just put a sky on how it's gonna be set up. The most common is to have people that.
And so the,
that
yeah, the
corner.
booth is up here in this corner, everyone. And that, yeah, I think this will be the placement of the booth is up in that window there. Can we see dressing room for this space and then also just like the back hallway to see these entrances?
Right, so I'm gonna go in first and you guys are gonna walk through the dressing rooms, out to the door on the hallway. You see right where I am. It's not a very big dressing room, not a whole lot.
Yeah, I think it means rough state right now.
Yeah.
What's it called? Take a look. So folks on Zoom, we're heading into the dressing, the like louver dressing room right now, which is more of a small green room space. This will also be shared. Oh, look at that. Here we are. This is the small backstage dressing room space. I know, worlds collide. And then there's a dress or a restroom in here, a single stall restroom, a small fridge and microwave. And then through this dressing room, there's this hallway. There is this entrance back into the louver here. And then if we go back down this hallway, this is taking a left from there. There is another entrance to the stage here. So Vicky, there's sort of 3 ways you can get to the stage. So the one that I just did, so this is sort of like stage left entrance. And then there's the dressing room, which is sort of in the middle of the audience in the standard setup. And then there's another one that's just like off stage left, but from behind the audience.
Yeah.